What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this American Horror Story Episode 2 review and breakdown. After a strong episode last week and easily the best of the two seasons so far, we are back with a ring/nest centered story here called Aura, and once again, I'm happy to report that this episode is really good. It is, or at least this season is having a stronger start, definitely, than the first season, and funnily enough, it is having a good impact, I think, on the brand. I did think that the VO at the start was a Twilight Zone style thing, but you can't always get what you want, can you? I think that would work if we had someone introduce these stories each week. But we see a woman pondering buying a doorbell camera for $200. She's bought it for a peace of mind, but her husband is unhappy that she spent $200 on a doorbell cam, and he says they spend the cash on the homeowner association, and he's unhappy that, well, this wasn't part of his plan, something which he is obsessed with and was his downfall. Her husband is played by Max Greenfield, you may recognise by the guy who played Hotel, and he was in, of course, New Girl. Interestingly, the chick, the main woman in this, Gabori, who was actually in Coven as well. But it's an interesting thing here that they've got these two actors and actresses. I thought this might be something like was in her head in the hotel, but hey, it obviously didn't happen. We flash back to her being a kid with her parents, and we find out why she is so paranoid, and it's because her parents were killed, and she starts her Etsy business, but the husband is having to go to work for a department meeting, and things are not going well. I mean, I don't trust him. I thought he might have been a serial killer over the course of the episode, but no, he's just a douchebag. But he did kill someone. However, slowly her business isn't doing that well, and the camera is picking up some motion. I mean, it could be anything. I've got one as well. I'm forever getting notifications on my backdoor stick-up cam and my front door camera as well. Now, while initially it was an animal, a creepy guy he appears, and the police turn up. Luckily, a good Samaritan turns up, and he's installed a camera. Everyone's got camera these days. They're very good. They stop, people stealing your packages from Amazon. But the creepy guy isn't in the recording, which is dodgy as heck. She's not believed and looks crazy. It's kind of predictable, to be honest. Like, oh, there's nothing there. You're in a new location or whatever. It was so predictable, to be honest. I enjoyed the episode, but you could tell that this was incredibly formulaic. The first sign that the husband is a title psycho, as he killed the neighbourhood raccoon, appears, which is psychotic, really, just because it made a mess. However, our girl sees him, and their neighbour can't see him, and the husband presumes it could be hackers. He belittles her once more, and we all know what happens to men who belittle women in AHS. And at his behest, she looks up Aura pranks, the Nest ring cam. I'm calling it a ring cam, it's called an Aura. However, the uploader thinks that this is real. It turns out that the guy that she's looking at isn't the guy from Rocky Horror Show, it's actually the janitor from her school who disturbingly had a crush on her, and her friends pretended to be nice to him, and it all went too far. The production in episodes seemed far better than season 2, and I honestly think that not being filmed during COVID really helps this. I think that last season's stories and American Horror Story season were let down by what they could have done. He appears in her house, and I find it surprising that the husband hasn't decided to work from home or something to help her anxiety, but he seems like a total D-bag. She takes it in her own hands and goes to see the janitor's sister to find where he is. It turns out that this guy was addicted to computers, and he spent time in his room non-stop, and his room seems stuck in the 80s and the 90s. The ideas of what this could be seems to be going everywhere. Bryce's theory seems validated. He could be an online hacker or troll, but no, he didn't end up being. And once again, the husband is absent even, as Max Greenfield plays a total D-bag a bit too well. The creepy janitor appeared in the house once more and apologises for being a creepy wacko fancying a mine. She also apologises for being mean to him, and he disappears like he just got snapped by Thanos. It turns out he was missing, and his body was found in the end. However, the nightmare begins anew as another ghost appears at the aura cam and her husband is acting creepy, clearly knowing who that person on the camera was. The late nights and early mornings did start for me adding up, as it's clearly him who killed the woman, and he mentioned he fired someone due to his OCD, but she was simply a fiancée and he's not the serial killer I expected, which might have been a bit more interesting. The woman was a hit and run victim and she confronts him about the haunted camera, and it turns out that the ghosts are being seen due to them using a form of quantum entanglement to use the light and stuff. I'm just, or at least Ant-Man must be lucky that he didn't see ghosts in the quantum realm. She says how she lets Mr. Hendricks in, and Mary Jane Burkett has a reason for visiting. She was a former fiancée of Bryce, but it turns out that she was pregnant, and while initially he or she got hit by a car as a total accident, what did it was the fact that he ended up killing her off. He finished her off there when she might have been saved, or the child might have been saved, but it wasn't part of his plan. He's beyond a total freak. And he keeps going on, but he ends up being killed by the spooky ghost. How? I don't know. The rules seem to go out the window here, as she ends up living a new life, making her Etsy stuff, and, well, her aura appears, and, well, she sees Bryce. She can't escape him forever and ever and ever. Now, this was a really good episode. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was decent, but the thing is am I enjoying it a lot more because it's clearly better than season 1, but not as good as it could have been. But anyway, I thought this was a decent season so far. The wins begin. Haven't watched a promo for next week. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is one. I don't even know when this goes up on Hulu or whatever, because I'm watching it my own way. But I will see you soon, and goodbye.